Welcome to the FoundHer Podcast.
We are two women who knew nothing about starting a business, but with our faith and a lot of determination, we founded our company that has grown to over 7 figures in just 3 years.
We're sharing all that we've learned, our secrets to building a brand and a long-lasting foundation to gain time and financial freedom.
We're both moms to 4 kiddos, and through the peaks and valleys of being a business owner, we're finding our true purpose, and it's more than we ever imagined.
So join us as we get real and have some fun along the way. Hi.
Hey. Oh my gosh. Here we are.
I know.
It's been a while.
It has been a while, and we're in a little bit of a new space today.
I know. It's pretty fun to be in a space like this.
I know. So tell us where we are.
We are in my husband's production studio.
I know. How awesome that he has this, and I don't know why we haven't used it before, and we may never go back.
I think we have officially moved out of our studio.
We'll see. This is it's a little bit further of a drive, but I think it's well worth it. This place is beautiful.
Right. And not only that, it's easy. Like, I think we spend, if only people knew how long we spent on setting up the lighting, it's easily 30 minutes.
And it's still terrible.
And then I sit there complaining while Heather's messing with the lights. I just continue to complain about the place, and that you have the camera better angled on you. Man. That's what I sound like.
I can't stare at these bright lights. They're right in my face.
I need my sunglasses.
Yeah, we're a little high maintenance.
And then Heather's like, "Why are you looking at me like that?" I'm like, "Because I can't see anything because I have flashes in my eyes from the lights."
Oh my gosh! And we actually haven't seen each other for.
3 weeks.
Even like talked for a good while, because I went on vacation first, and then you went on vacation, and I have to say we did a very good job of not bothering each other. We did not talk the whole time. We didn't communicate. Nope. I didn't check emails. It was a really, really nice time to just completely
shut down.
Right? Like off the grid.
Yeah.
Didn't talk to anybody. Trapped on an island with my kids and my parents.
I know. Tell us a little bit about it. Where'd you go?
So we went to Oahu.
That's fun.
For, I don't know, over a week.
How long did it take you to get there?
It takes a really long time to get there. And I would say my piece of advice that I would remind me to tell myself if I ever go back to Hawaii, I know the direct flight is more money. Just pay the extra money and take the direct flight. They have one now from Boston. The layovers they just make it
painful.
Really long. And there's such a long time difference anyway. So, yeah.
How long would a direct flight be?
I feel like it's like 12 hours or something.
Oh my Lanta.
Nah, maybe it's not that long. I don't know.
Struggled on 4.
I don't know. I went the cheapest route because that's what I needed to do, because I was getting 5 plane tickets. So I just went with like whatever was the cheapest. And the way there we had like 2 layovers. So it was long. But the kids were like super awesome. They just like watch the movies and sleep. Like don't complain about anything. They were awesome travelers. The weather was great. Beautiful island. Beautiful beaches.
Yeah. But you have to go, if you're going to go to Hawaii, you have to go for like almost 2 weeks, which is what you did.
Yeah, like 10 days at least. Yeah.
Because you got to count your travel time.
Yeah.
And if you're going to travel that far, you got to make it worth it.
Yeah, for sure. And we swam with turtles. We snorkeled with turtles, and went to the luau. Some of the classic Hawaiian things that like my kids had never been there before. Right. So you have to do some of those.
You have to do the touristy stuff.
A few of the touristy things.
Right.
But yeah, lots of beaches. The kids went surfing, which was like
cool.
Really fun to watch them. They totally killed it, of course, as they would their naturals. That was really fun.
And you also did something big while you were there.
Oh,
with your
yes.
oldest.
We did. We did tour University of Hawaii. So, yeah, not much not to love about that school.
We are officially have one of the 8 of our children starting to look at colleges, which is insane.
I know. I didn't even tell you, but I also booked our tickets to Arizona to look at schools there,
too. You shared every travel itinerary with me via email. I was like, are these personal invitations that I get to come on all of them? Love it. We're going to Charleston. We're going to Phoenix.
Well, I just needed you to know when I was out of work.
I love it.
You might as well know. Yeah, but you were away too. Where did you go?
Yeah, we went to Texas for the weekend. I didn't get the 2 weeks time period. I got 4 days. But
that's okay. I mean, I had to take my kids with me. You got to go
solo.
So
yeah, no, it was great.
That evens out.
Yeah, we went with my husband and I went with 2 of our good friends, and then met 2 of our friends down there. So it was really awesome. But we did like all of the
you did like
southern things,
really southern things. So like, what kind of things did you do?
We went to a rodeo on Thursday night, which was the first time my friends had ever been to a rodeo.
Yeah.
And my son wants to start bull ride this year, so that's gonna be interesting. And one of the riders was from Massachusetts, which was really cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, he was from Barnstable, Massachusetts. Not Barnstable, but Barnstable. It's hilarious. And then on Friday night, we went to dirt track and saw dirt track racing, but it was cool because it was stock car, and I'm a big NASCAR fan anyway. So that was really, really fun, and they had never been to anything like that. And we've gone with our other friends to NASCAR for years, so it was like something that we always do.
And there's nothing like that up here anywhere.
No. And then Saturday night we went to a dance hall.
And explain what a dance hall is, because I never knew what that was until you took me there a few years ago, and I did not. I didn't even want to go because it sounded lame, and I just never knew what that means. Like, who goes to a dance hall? Like, what does that mean?
Well, the best part, I actually told that story the other night because when we were there, you and I, when we went down, we were at a bar, and it's a really cool bar. It's called the Backyard in Waco, and it's an outdoor bar, but it was like a heavy metal band. They were terrible, and you were loving it. And I was like, okay.
It was not a heavy metal band. They
change the scenery time. We've been there for like 3 hours. We had a tower of drinks, and we're like, all right, let's go. We're going to go somewhere else. And so as we're walking, you literally stopped. When you heard where we were going, you stopped in the middle of the street, arms folded. I'm not going to a dance hall. I'm like, yes, you are. Get in the car. I am not going to the dance hall.
That doesn't sound like me.
100%. If I could stand up and show what you did, I was like, and your bag was, and you're like, I'm not going. And I was like, oh my gosh, if it stinks, we'll come right back. I promise. We closed down that dance hall now there, didn't we, friend? Because it was so much fun. But a dance hall is, it's a bar.
Closed it down.
And they, a lot of times they do live music, but then they also have just, music playing, just DJ or just even house music. But it's like a large wood floor, salted, sanded, whatever preference. And people dance, and it's two-stepping, it's line dancing.
Think of like the old school roller skating rink, but dirt. Like that's what it was.
Yeah.
Or sand or whatever, but it's like sawdust, whatever they do. But it's
Whatever
like a roller rink of dancing.
And you go in when you're on the perimeter.
Yeah, just like roller skating, you dance in a circle, like you're roller skating.
Yeah. Yep. I realized this trip I can't be the forward. I have to be on the backwards, and I can't go to the left. I have to go to the right. Okay. Well, Justin and I tried to switch, and I was like, what's happening? I can't do it like this. And this was the part that I was really excited about. Footloose was on. We've practiced Footloose how many times?
I saw the video of you footloosing.
It's way faster in person than we've ever done, even just on the TV. And the whole time I was telling
let's just stop right there for a minute. That means that, yes, we have put line dancing on the television so that we can dance to it.
And we practice.
And learn new dances and practice. We're so lame. Hadley has a new line dance for us. There's a new like TikTok line dance or something.
Oh, it's probably to Beyonce's new song or something.
Well, I don't know.
But
I'll have to learn that.
I got out there and Mary left me and I was doing it and I was like, oh my gosh, Dianne, you can do this. Oh, keep up. You got to go faster. That wasn't very good. And then I was like, oh my gosh. And then the people behind me were like complaining about the people that don't really know how to do Footloose. And I was like, well, heck, they're not going to see that I don't know what I'm doing. I got to go faster. But it was like, I was out of breath when I came off the thing. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah, no, it's a workout. It's an actual workout. They should have like exercise classes.
I was thankful that Copperhead Road didn't come on because that one's like you're jogging the whole time. But anyways, it was a weekend that I,
Oh, good. Yeah. So
didn't want to come back.
We're both back and refreshed, and like it does take a little while to kind of get back, into work mode.
Yeah.
But I think it's really important
to shut it down.
To shut it down because we've been go.
Mm-hmm.
It's really important, I think, to just take a minute. One, to spend with your family, who I feel like that time is really precious and valuable.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I don't take the time. Well, my kids don't really want to hang out with me. Like when we're just here, they're doing all their own thing. They're in their own activities. But when it's almost like I have to force us to be alone together.
Right.
Which is really good and important. So
yeah, I mean, it's
and
really
for you at your stage, it's really important to get away from your kids.
Yeah, some time for us. I think it'll be something that we'll do like once a year. We'll just do a weekend away.
No,
just
yeah,
pick
I
a
think
different
that's super
spot.
Important.
Yeah, we're already talking next year of like a beach or Asheville. I really want to do Asheville.
Me too. Can I come?
Yeah, of course.
I'll just be here. I'll just drive you around. I can be like your designated driver.
All right. So what are we talking about today?
Oh my gosh. So today is really exciting because we have our very first guest.
That's so fun.
Yay! So I'm going to give a little introduction to Carolanne. She is our VA, which is a virtual assistant.
Best decision you will ever make.
I know. I cannot wait to have everybody meet her. But she is 30 years old from a small town in North Georgia. She originally started assistant work after a career in retail management and has been working as an assistant for almost 2 years. She loves writing, listening to podcasts and audiobooks, throwing parties, and, shockingly, listening to T Swift.
Good old Taylor.
I know. Okay, so welcome. Carolanne is joining us from Georgia, and we're so excited to have you here. Hello.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here.
This is so much fun. Well, first of all, just being able to share why we love having a virtual assistant, but most importantly, like how much you have helped us, just you in general as a person. So, and like how perfectly well matched. Trusting the process really worked.
We had the privilege of meeting Carolanne in person when we were in Atlanta a couple months ago, and that was really awesome. We got to like have dinner together and shut the place down, and
we looked around at one point. We were like,
"Wait, I think they're closing.
We're the only people in here."
I know. I think
we gotta go.
I think we need to plan another get together because I miss you, Carolanne.
Right.
Okay, so we're gonna get into some questions because a lot of people don't necessarily know, one, what a virtual assistant really is. I think it's kind of this new concept, and especially for small businesses, I don't think anybody has any idea how valuable a VA can be. So we're going to talk a little bit about the overarching company that you work for, which is BELAY. And then more importantly, why did you want to become a VA to begin with? So let's start there. Why did you want to be a VA, and why did you choose BELAY?
So I was working as an assistant in an office, and it was part-time, and I wanted something that could grow to be full-time. And I was looking for remote options. I really love working from home in general. So I was looking for that. And when I found BELAY, I can't remember if it was through Indeed or just like looking online at different jobs, but I fell in love with the idea of an organization that was stable. So BELAY has, years and years of experience. And I believe at one point they were 3 to 4 different companies that all like combined. And I think the benefit of BELAY and why I chose them was, one, the application process was was intense. And I know y'all mentioned that on a previous episode about how they vet virtual assistants, and they really do, because I remember going through and it says, okay, you're through this part. Now it's time to start. It could have been 4 hours at least. It was not as wild as the Teach for America application and that whole process that I went through after college, but it was intense, and it was a time commitment. So definitely wanted to follow through on the interview and everything. And I really like the idea of a company that is beneficial for both parties. And I wanted something more stable than a Fiverr and Upwork, where, sometimes I would be the one, reaching out to you, asking for, invoices and all of that. and having a company like Belay, who is established and also, works with our CSC, who's amazing, and I can reach out to her for anything that I need. And it really gives a stable foundation to build a career as a virtual assistant.
Awesome. I think the one thing too, we've talked, I know I've talked to a couple of people about the benefits of a virtual assistant and why I love it, but I always follow it up with, but we work directly with Belay, and not that I'm bashing any other company, but my trust level with Belay, like, I don't know if I would feel as confident in go for a virtual assistant if they weren't vetted and from a company like Belay.
Yeah. So talk a little bit about how Belay works, because not only were you interviewed a ton, but we were also interviewed a ton also. So talk a little bit about what Belay is and why they're so awesome.
Yes, they are amazing. So they have virtual assistants, social media managers, and bookkeepers. And once you apply for a position and you get through the full online application process, then you go start interviewing. I believe, I can't remember if I had 1 or 2 interviews. But on the final interview, they say, we'll let you know. They send you a contract to sign. And so everything's done through Belay. And once I was in the Belay, I always say like Belay sphere, but once I was contracted with Belay, I get access to their job board. So whenever you or another client goes on and does the whole interview process to once you have that final discovery call with the CSC, once you do that, they create a job posting. And when I go on the job board, I can't see any business names. I can't see anything personal or anything that would give away who you are. It's just what skills that I need to have in order to best serve you, what programs you use, whether you prefer Mac or PC. They give a lot of information. And so I remember, going through there, and I remember specifically y'all's had LikeToKnowIt on it. And I was like, ooh, I love to know it as a consumer. And so I was like, ooh, okay. And basically there's only 2 questions for me as a contractor to fill out. So almost like a cover letter, basically, just a couple paragraphs to fill in. And then CSCs, whoever is assigned to that job, gets notified that someone's turned in an application. And then once they're notified, they go through, pick out the best candidates, do an interview with them. They might do follow-up interviews too. But I remember for y'all's, I did a full Canva presentation, and it was even longer than the one that I brought to our kickoff call. But I created a full thing, everything that y'all had, I had written down, experience I had in each item, and gave it to her. So it's definitely I wouldn't even say a long process, but it's definitely a detailed, thorough process.
Very detailed.
And I think what's interesting, and I found like it was actually awesome, is that we didn't actually meet you until basically we were matched and we hired you.
Right.
And then we met you, which is like totally opposite of what a business normally does, is you usually go through all this interviewing process and then you weed out all these candidates, and Belay does all of that work for you. So we never actually even met you until we had already been matched. Yeah. And you're like, here's your VA. And we were like, okay, like you had to trust the process that we had been interviewed so much, you had been interviewed so much, but they did all of that work for you. So it took all that time
off of us. But I think it took us, we had a couple conversations, and it was about us being like honest and really vulnerable in the interview, because we had to completely let our guard down and and let somebody else hire and select for your business. And we just had our 6-month come together call. I don't know what you want to call it, but and she said in that, both of you guys go back and watch your interview And it's like how important that 1 hour is to sit down and be so detailed. But then, like, I don't know. It's still crazy to me how it was like perfectly matched. And we were so all over the place. I mean, we were like, we need a magical unicorn that can do all of these things. And then she said in this meeting in our 6th month, like, now is the time to let Carolanne into your business, that she basically can run it in the absence of you. Mm-hmm. And to see how far we've come in just 6 months, it's like, imagine what the next 6 months is going to bring.
Yeah.
And we had no hand in selecting that candidate. It's amazing.
No. I mean, think about it, though, even just your geographical area. If you don't have a virtual assistant, you're just coming from a market that is
right here,
you know, your circumference, rather than going totally nationwide. Mm-hmm. I'm sure you probably could go worldwide if you needed to, but I think it's just national right now. And then your market is so much bigger that you're finding somebody that's so specific to your needs.
Yeah. It's really cool. So when you think about, you know, your role as a VA, what do you love most about it?
I think I love the variety the most. I love
There's a lot of variety.
It is.
Right? Every day it's a little different.
It's definitely for someone who's good at multitasking and who's good at who's organized, because especially, and it depends on the engagement too. But like y'all are so successful with multiple income streams. So for y'all, it definitely needs the organization of having categories of making sure that the tasks are in each spot. But I love it. It's the first job that I've ever had where I don't wake up and I'm like, oh, I don't want to go to work. You know, I always enjoy everything.
Really? This is your first job that you've ever felt that way? That's like such an honor.
Yes, definitely. No, it's wonderful. I love it.
She has to say that. We're right here. Okay.
I wouldn't lie, but I definitely wouldn't say that.
Okay, you don't have to say that. We didn't pay her that much. No,
just a little bit extra.
But I'm sure anyone who's, because the majority of my career was in retail, and I'm sure anyone who's been in retail service industry management, I mean, it's really nice to just work almost, one-on-one with y'all, with the members of your team, and being able to assist and on projects and create, Google Docs and everything. Yeah. It's always something fun and new.
I think one of the things that's so cool for me in particular, like I couldn't talk to you and I'm like, hey, remember this tool? Remember, because we worked for the same company, but just about 15 years apart from each other. And I'm like, remember, like in operations, like this was a tool that we did. I want to make something like that. But do you remember that? Let's find that. And now it's like, it's also really awesome because you're so much faster at it. It's like all of the nice to-dos that have been in my head of, big box retailers, and then how do you bring it in now into, a small business? You've been able to help us do that, which is really fun. And not a lot of the girls that work for us have worked retail before. So to have somebody that's like, oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Sure. Like, okay, merch flow. Okay. The process, let's do this. Okay, great. I'm like, yes, yes, you get what I'm saying. So it's really been a cool thing for me, for sure.
Okay. So we're going to both answer this question.
We are?
Well, we're going to answer it. She's going to answer it first though. What do you think is the biggest advantage of hiring a VA? And then we're going to answer what we think is the biggest advantage. What do you think, Carolanne?
I wasn't prepared for this thing.
I would say, and I know that I had, seen this question and had thought about it, but time is your most valuable resource. It's the one thing in this world that you can't get back. And so if you can afford to hire out tasks that that someone else can do just as good as you can, then why would you not, basically allow yourself to have more free time to do things that you really enjoy in your business?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think my answer would be almost the same, but I'm thinking about even, because we've said if going back, our biggest piece of advice would be a VA should be your first hire. And this kind of goes along with that, because not only is it just things that you can do that maybe we don't have time for, but I think when you're first starting out, we've talked a lot about systems and processes and procedures, and getting all of that set up, all of your automations, like all of that detailed work that is really a very first priority when starting a business, because you're just going to move that much quicker. If you could have a VA come in and help you set up all of those streamlined processes and automations from like the get-go,
right,
you are going to just fly. I think about how much time that took us when we first started. We didn't even really know maybe what we needed.
Agreed.
But it took us so long to create the process to really get going. And then you start hiring a team and all of those additional things. If we could have had Carolanne from the get-go, and she could have just almost helped us set up the foundational pieces of the business to build on, I just feel like we could have grown even faster.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. I will like both of your answers.
Okay, but now you
time is definitely huge, and the process was the one I was thinking of when then you stole it from me.
Sorry.
But I also think the other part too, I like the accountability that actually there is because I'm accountable to you, like you know, and so it makes it so that I have to do the things that I say I'm going to do. And sometimes when I could, you know, when it was before to create some of this stuff, I'd push it off. Like, that's not important right now. It's
well,
not
when
you're
your own boss.
Yeah. Or it's just not important right now because I have 5 other things that are just as important. But I think what I like personally, it has, I think, improved our level of organization as a business. I am not frustrated like I used to be. I have email off my work phone, so I feel like I have my life back. I'm off my work phone. Off my phone in general, I feel like I have my life back.
You have 2 phones.
Yeah, right? Surprise. And I don't know. It's a level of accountability.
Yeah, that's true.
It's made us have to be better, which in turn, I think has brought my stress level significantly down.
Yeah, it does. Because if we set a deadline now, like, I'm not going to hold up Carolanne because I didn't meet my deadline, or I didn't get to her what I said I was going to get to her on time. And then she'll be like, I'll have that to you tomorrow by 5. What?
I know.
Like,
speaking of, I have a deadline.
I love
that was 12 p.m. today that I'm late on for her, but that's okay. I'll get it done. I have 1 hour and 22 minutes. Awesome. I mean, honestly though, I could keep going about the benefits and the biggest advantages. I mean, I can simply say this: there is no disadvantage of having a virtual assistant.
no,
There's none.
none. I kind of feel like it's a secret weapon.
True.
A little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Carolanne, why do you think it gives companies a leg up to have a virtual assistant versus not having one?
I think part of that time piece is freeing you up to do whatever you fell in love with the business that you're working on for, you know? So it could be content creation or buying, picking out things, because it's a lot. It gives you so much more time to do that when you have a VA like me going in your emails and filling out the paperwork they send and sending it back. And of course, you know, I ask questions, but you have somebody who's doing that legwork for you on all the behind the scenes items.
Yeah.
So whether it's y'all creating the content and me scheduling it, you know, whatever it is, it really allows you more time to do what you're passionate about. And I feel like the passion that you bring to your business is what is going to excel you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give her a little shout out. If it wasn't for Carolanne, I don't think this podcast would have
Happened.
gotten off the ground.
No, we have been talking about it for how many years? Literally, I think we've had 3 names of it.
It's been talked about for a long time, but we really haven't been able to actually give it the time that it needed, and all that detail kind of behind the scenes work to like actually get it on all the platforms and edit it if it needs it, and all of those little things. And
that we just avoided because we're like, we don't know how to do that. I don't want to learn how to do that.
Yeah.
I would delete social media off my phone if I could.
You can.
Well, I did look into this. But then, did you know? Like, I thought if I like deactivated my Instagram, I would be able to like just reactivate it, but you lose all of your content.
Mm-hmm. You do.
Wow, this was news to me, and now I'm like, well, now I got to go back through my Instagram and save all the things because ultimately I will get rid of it. I need a break from it.
You can probably take it off your phone, but not deactivate it.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like then you could just go on your laptop like a.
Then I'd be like
old granny.
School. Let me log on to America Online and go on the World Wide Web to go on Instagram.com and scroll.
But you wouldn't do it then, right?
No, I wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't do it.
Oh, that'll be the next goal. So the first goal when we had Carolanne was that I was going to delete my email off my phone.
Okay.
It was gone in 15 days. So let's see if I can get rid of social media.
She's like, this is news to me.
No, I'm not asking you to do it. I'm not.
Me adding it to the checklist.
Oh my gosh. And the tools that you've created.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
So how do you think from your perspective, Carolanne, how do you feel like you've helped us the most?
Well, that's so funny you said that because I was like, that is the Google Sheets that I've made. I've impressed myself with,
It's impressive.
Wow, this is a great Google Sheet. I'm like, wow.
There's some really good ones.
Ooh. Yes, they're all, helpful. And I feel like I mostly deliver on the first draft. I always send it saying, this is the draft. Let me know if there's anything you want me to change. But
I'm always like perfect.
Yeah.
I feel like I ask enough questions in the beginning so that way I really know exactly what you're looking for. Mm-hmm. And I feel like as we've gotten to know each other, I've gotten to know your style and your preferences a lot better. And I think that helps too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you also come with a lot of your own good ideas, which is super helpful to not make us always be the brains of the operation.
I love to just say, like, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I want it to be for. Can you just make it happen?
Or this is the outcome that we need.
Or this is the problem we have.
Yeah. And how do we solve the problem?
Yeah,
for sure.
Where do you think, though, so you've helped us so much, but where do you think we still need help? That's a vulnerable question.
I know. Be honest. Because we still need a lot of help.
A lot of help.
No. I think that I think it really depends on what part of your business you want more ROI on for having me involved. Because like take LTK, when that was a big focus, it was able to scale up and earn commissions and everything, which it hasn't stopped, but it's definitely slowed down as we've gotten into the podcast and with accounts when you were at market. So I guess it just depends on, us being able to sit down and say, okay, these are which Dianne and I did a little bit last week, but sit down and say, okay, these are the main things we want to focus on. And once we're all clear on that, then I can come to you with a schedule and say, okay, this is what I'm thinking.
Right.
Let me know.
Yeah. I feel like too, I don't know if it's just coming out of the new year and like buying and getting all ready for the year. And then we both had vacations. I was like, I feel like Heather and I need to have a meeting. I'm like, we had like it was like, go. And then I'm like, what are my priorities? I'm so lost.
Right. Kind of like refocusing.
Yeah.
It's like quarterly, like refocusing. What are the goals, right? Because then if you don't have like very strategic goals, how are you going to get there? How do you know if you attained them?
Right.
What's your plan?
What are we doing?
Where are we going? Yeah.
I literally said to Carolanne while you were away, we were talking, I was like, so I looked at my calendar and I don't really know what I'm doing.
There's nothing
I don't know what I'm doing right now. Like, well, no, my calendar is plenty to do, but I was like, I don't know which door to walk through first. Like I felt like I was like in a room and I was like, do you think we could just talk about that for a minute?
Right. Like what are my priorities? Exactly.
Could you help me with my calendar? But then what was really cool is I went back and so the next day I did the time management activity, the frequency thing that we have. It took me about an hour and then I was like, okay, all right, I'm back. And it was really good. That's the 4th time I've used that tool and how helpful it really is.
Have we shared that tool yet?
No, because we got to record. You got to put a voice behind it. So I got to record something to teach someone how to use it.
All right, let's do that next time.
Got it. You got it. But it's been very, very helpful.
Yeah. So a lot of small businesses don't utilize a virtual assistant. So
a lot of times they think they need to hire in-house.
Exactly. Well, especially when it's small, you keep it local. Can you speak, Carolanne, to the benefits or downfalls of being virtual?
Definitely. I feel like there's benefits and downfalls, just like with anything. But I feel the benefit for me as a contractor to being at home is that I'm able to be distraction free, be able to work at what I think is, my highest efficiency. And I think the main downfall is it's a lot harder to communicate quickly. Like if I was on site, it would be, if I had a question, I just, walk in an office. But to be fair, our communication is, I feel like we all get back to each other so fast. And if there's ever been anything urgent, it's always easy to reach you.
Yeah.
And there's not too many urgent scenarios anyway. But I feel like that is the main downfall. But I think that that's kind of up to the contractor and client of your communication. Because I feel, and I do feel like there is a benefit of me being virtual and being able to have my hands in everything at my computer and not necessarily be pulled in multiple directions physically.
I was going to say, if anything, I think it probably makes both of our work a little bit more efficient, because otherwise I feel like I just want to hang out and chat all day.
Right.
So I think maybe it helps us be a little bit more focused if we're not together, actually.
Keeps us really on task.
Yeah.
For sure.
More focused work.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yes. But I think that
it's not as hard as I thought it would be. I have to say, for me, I thought it would be difficult to feel kind of that like connection with somebody virtual, but I haven't felt that way at all. So we meet only once a week.
Right.
We have an hour Zoom, whatever meeting once a week. Talk about what the plan is, what we're working on, updates, plan going forward. And that's like enough. And then we communicate a little bit throughout the week via email or text or whatever, but it's not a lot.
No.
Because you're such an independent worker.
Yeah.
That we've kind of aligned at the beginning of the week, and then we go about and do our own thing. And
I think the tool that you created for yourself, because, us Magical Unicorn over here, of all of the things that we wanted to do, is a lot to figure out. And you created a tool that helps you with, like your calendar, priority lists, notes from touch bases, like everything is in this one spot. We've actually now taken that tool and brought it to the team, some members of the team, right, to help them when we see them struggle. So I think that is one of the things that's been really helpful, is because that is what allows us to have that time. Okay, 1 hour we're focused, and then go do your thing, because we know exactly. I think I talk about it all the time. I'm like, have your snow day list. And you had a rainy day list without me even asking for one. You had like your low, medium, high priority. I've been saying snow day list. I used to do it when I was a store manager. It's like the best thing to have. There's never downtime. Here you go. There's plenty of things to do.
Definitely. and I know that with adding the podcast and everything, it needs to be revamped.
Yeah.
And so it can be part of the new quarterly meeting.
Yeah. I think it's fun too to have an outside opinion of our business. Sometimes it's hard when it's, we're the two kind of like brains behind the operation, but sometimes I love having this third party perspective on things that you think that we should focus on, or where you think our strengths are or weaknesses, where you can help. Like, you're not afraid to voice an opinion. Hey, I see you've had this idea, but it hasn't gone anywhere. How can I help move this idea forward? And I love having that to your point, accountability, but that perspective of our business, because nobody else tells us this. Like, nobody else tells us what we're good at or not good at, or where we're failing, or where we're, doing well, or
right.
I love having that, and I love that you're not afraid to share that with us either. So I don't want people to think that a virtual assistant is really just like a glorified assistant or secretary or administrative assistant. You know what I mean? I think that people might get that idea like, oh, they just like check email. And no, you're really a third party. Like, I really feel like you're part of this foundational piece of the business, and
absolutely
letting you into like even finances and growth and bigger goals and all of that. Like, I love having that third, I don't know. I love having you be like an integral part of the team now. I really feel like it's you're a foundational piece of this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, I was going to add to, as far as benefits, having y'all as clients I know that you, and especially in the beginning, you were like, we don't feel organized at all, but you really are. I mean, especially the document Dee sent me in the beginning with all of the information that I would need, and I still reference back to that to this day, filling out things for accounts. And I still go back in, I'm like, what was that number again? And y'all really are, and just, I just want to, say amazing and incredible, but you are super organized. You're very empowering of your employees, and you really see the best in everyone. And then you're also very understanding, and not even like where I've needed to step away or anything, but to an extent where I feel like I can be super open with y'all. And not that I wouldn't have that with any other client, but it really helps with that open line of communication where you feel like you can say anything and share the positives or something that I think you might be able to do faster. It's so amazing having y'all as clients, truly.
Wow. Well, we just love it. We love you and all that you've done for us. It's just amazing.
Yeah, so it'll be fun in a future episode, we're going to actually talk to BELAY.
Yeah, we're going to talk to the CEO of BELAY.
Exactly. So it'll be fun to get that perspective also.
Well, and her story, though, is incredible because she started as a virtual assistant and now is the CEO of the company.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It's really cool.
Can't wait to hear that. So she's coming up soon.
Yeah, I saw her speak when I was at the Ramsey conference in Nashville.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Should we get to
our favorite section?
No off-topic questions.
I think we've changed the title of this.
I don't know. I never remember what it's called. No questions off topic.
No question off limits.
Whatever. We get the point.
Basically, ask us anything. Maybe that's what it should just say. Ask us anything.
Ask us anything. Yeah, it seems easier.
But this time we're doing this differently, though. We picked the questions. Usually, it's listeners.
You can ask us questions, DM in anywhere.
But we've chosen these ones specifically.
Okay, Carolanne, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you sure you're ready?
If you could do or be anything, what would you be or do?
Well, when I hear bee, I'm like, I want to be a cat.
I know, and I'm going to make you, I see that you wrote that, and I'm like, okay, you have to expand just a little bit about why you would want to be a cat.
My cats have it so good. You know what I mean? They just eat, I guess eat incredibly. Like, they can get their wet food and everything. It's super yummy to them. But just being able to relax and not have to worry about anything, no bills, no adult
anything.
They just
lay in the sun all day.
I know. I used to think that when I was a little kid about my cat. I'd go to school. I tried to take her to school with me one time in my backpack but I would look and I'm like, man, you have a life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just lay in the sun.
There's no expectations when you're a cat, like people expect you to be any kind of.
True. Not even like a dog, right? Like you expect a dog to like obey and
dog's going to go on a run with you. You're not taking the cat running.
No, you really expect nothing of a cat.
Right.
Why do we even why?
You can just sleep and eat. That sounds perfect. I'm with you. I might join you as a cat.
Yeah, we might as well. And so if it was a magical situation where we could just be anything, the cat for sure. But
oh my gosh.
As far as
and you can jump off really high things and not get hurt, and you have 9 lives. Sorry, I'm just going back to that. Actually, there are some really good benefits.
We're going to do a follow-up episode where we just talk about animals that we would like to be and why.
Okay.
It's all about a cat. I'm sold. I'm a cat. That's it.
And they have attitudes, and it's fine. Perfectly fine to have an attitude.
Right? Like, I don't want to be a horse. I
or
have to
be
stand
a
up
diva.
the whole time.
Horses can sleep laying down.
That I'm really big, and that's hard to get back up.
Do they?
Yeah, and then cows, you don't want to be a cow because someone's going to tip you over just when you're starting to doze off. Nope. Don't want to be a cow either.
Okay. We digress.
Well,
Okay, but what would you
wanna
do?
Yeah. If VAs were off the table, suddenly we all have AI bots now that are our assistants. So your jobs, you're out of luck.
Right.
What else could you do?
I would love to be a published author and motivational speaker. I love writing. I love writing fantasy, but I also love writing poetry, and that is something that I've been doing a lot of. And I'm working on a website to put it all on. Just because I don't know, writing has always been something. It's one of those things that I can do for hours and not realize that time has passed. And I love anything where it's encouraging other people to do their best. And I used to have a blog where I wrote all about that, but I miss that. And so I want to get back into it now that I've got the FoundHer podcast to listen to.
And I feel like you have a lot of things you can write about. I feel like you have a lot of things that you could be very motivationally inspiring.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, which I'm fine to expand on because I do feel like y'all have helped me so much and are just so kind, which is why I felt comfortable opening up to y'all about what I was going through because which I haven't blatantly said online, but I've alluded to it. But it was actually after one of our meetings, I just walked in the kitchen and my husband said, ex-husband said that, he couldn't do it anymore and he didn't want to be married. And so that was right before the holidays. So it was a tough season for sure, a tough holiday season. But having y'all and Heather reaching out and, just being there if I needed you. And it just, and I was very inspired by you sharing your story with that, because I know, I can't even imagine, what you went through with children. But the feelings of, of all kinds of, not feeling good enough, not, there was a lot of feelings.
Yeah.
And so
there's a lot of feelings. And to know that somebody else has felt those feelings and to maybe see them a little further along in the journey to be like, okay, I'm going to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the only one who's ever felt this way.
And it's okay to feel this way.
It's okay to feel this way and sit in it as long as you need to.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're incredibly resilient. I don't even know how you've kept it together as well as you have is amazing. But that's encouraging to me to be like, okay, maybe it was for a reason, even if it was just for you. And then hopefully that encourages you to feel okay talking about it whenever you're ready to know that maybe your story can be encouraging to somebody else. So
yeah,
I don't know. I don't think that there's as much of a community out there that talks about it. So, maybe there is, and I just don't know about it because I keep it to myself. But I don't know. I want it, just like I said, I wanted it to be for good, in some way. So.
No, it was for me, especially because I was sitting there with tears coming down editing.
Oh.
I was like, but
I did text you, and I said it last week. It was the first. I mean, it's basically almost 9 years, and it was the first time you've spoken about it so openly. I mean, of course you have with me for years, but just to put it out there, I was like, I'm so proud of you, which I am.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's a big thing to talk about, and I know that for you, and it was just awesome. You did awesome job.
Well, now it's out there, so
it's out there.
Bring it on.
Here we go.
I'm good. Anyway, but thank you for saying that, Caroline. That's really, really sweet.
Of course.
And it's exciting to hear what you're doing with your work. Can't wait.
I know. That is really exciting.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Is this question for us?
Yeah, but I feel like we just really diverted off topic, so now it feels like a little bit lame to go back to this after like talking about deep and emotional things.
We can wrap it up with this. That's fine.
We'll like bring it back for one quick minute.
One quick question.
Why? Because you have said this from the beginning, so we're gonna go back to VA stuff, and then we'll wrap it up here. But why do you think?
Talking to me?
Yeah.
Okay.
A VA should be your first hire. And let's go in the context of you've just started your business, right? Your first hire. That's a big deal to hire anybody outside of yourself when you have no money. You're just starting. You feel like, finances are really tight. Maybe you're not even paying yourself.
You shouldn't be paying yourself yet anyways if you had just started.
Right?
You got to do some sweat equity.
Right.
Like I mean, anybody that, if you're starting your business and the first thing you're doing is paying yourself, start over.
Start over.
Try again.
Okay. Good advice. But why should a VA be your very first hire? And I just want to say that with Belay, you can do as many hours as you want. So you could start, I think,
5 hour increments.
5 hours a week. I mean, that's like nothing. 5 hours a week.
They'll provide a recommendation for you. So based on whatever you need.
How much you want, but it really breaks it out so it doesn't have to be this huge financial investment.
Full-time employee,
somebody, right? A full-time 40-hour week, like nothing like that. We started at how many hours?
65 a month.
A month, right? Yeah. So it's a monthly contract. And then we can increase as we want.
Yeah, end of this month we'll be up to...
Or decrease, but that's not happening.
We'll be up 80 a month. So I think the reason why your VA should be your first hire is because a lot of times people say to us like we're lucky because we have each other to bounce ideas off of. I think if I was doing this all by myself and I was starting over and I was going to start some, I don't know, photography business, whatever the heck I'm going to do, I would want that person to help me create my foundational tools, all of the things to get myself up and running. And especially if I'm paying them, like I still have my time. I'm just telling them what I need and what I want. And I'm going out there to start to grow my business. But then also I have I'm building a relationship with somebody who's going to be invested in the business, and can give me the feedback and I can bounce ideas off of right from the get-go. So it kind of helps. It's like a mini business partner, but isn't.
Yeah.
So I think it's twofold. It's helping you with process.
Even almost before you launch, I feel like. I mean, I don't know. I mean, obviously you've got to have a little bit of cash flow to do that, but even to help you launch a business would be crazy helpful. I mean, it just gives you such a leg up. I think it's like this huge secret advantage that you would have over anybody else.
Right. And I'm sorry, I firmly believe your assistant, it should always be a virtual assistant, not an in-person assistant. I just firmly believe that. I think that there's less emotional ties to it. It's really about I don't know, it's just so honest and like really like real work. And we can't nitpick. We can't be all over. We can't be up in her business. We have to trust, right? And it forces you to build trust. And if you want to grow a business with a team and you want to have 10 people, well, shoot, you got to build the trust. And that's one thing we've worked on for years. Had we done it the other way and had a VA first, I don't know. Would it have looked different? I don't know. Can't say for sure. But it ultimately builds the trust. And for yourself as the business owner, right from the beginning, you're going to have somebody who's next to you.
Yeah. Awesome. It's been awesome to meet you, Carolanne. I love seeing your pretty face every time.
I love all that you do with us and help us with, and I love your feedback and your ideas. It's been awesome. And like I feel like you're a part of the team too, because the team even knows you or reaches out to you if there's a question, and you can't ask for more than that.
Yeah. So we'll put in the notes, we'll put connection to BELAY. So if anybody wants to reach out to
message us first, DM us. Yeah, we'll put you in contact with the right person. Yeah, we'll put you in contact
to BELAY. You will not be sorry.
You will not.
Will not. Nope. You will thank us over and over and over again.
Best decision you've ever made.
But we'll put that in the show notes for everybody, and we'll catch you next time.
Thank you for doing this with us.
Bye.
Thank you.